Another video. I'm sure it's fine. Probably just overthinking it. She's probably heard guys fart before, right? Probably should have told her that I was in her bedroom though before I farted, because that wasn't great. I'm gonna die alone. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the James Knows Nothing channel. You sad little people that decide to watch my videos. If anybody does watch my videos, we'll have to wait and see. Probably not, though. Anyway, welcome back to the channel where you watch a man who knows nothing about literally anything try and talk about something. And as I'm sure you've seen now by the title of the video and the breaking news, Kevin De Bruyne has decided to leave Manchester City at the end of the season. He actually released a statement today on Instagram, which will obviously pop on the screen here, but it was basically saying, look lads, these are going to be my last few weeks at the club. I appreciate everything that everyone's done for me. I love the city of Manchester, yada 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 yada. And this is kind of the thing with this story. There's not much meat and potatoes to it. There's not much drama to it, really. It's literally just Kevin De Bruyne, Manchester City legend, leaving Man City to then go to Inter Miami or to the Middle East, earn a fuck ton of money and then retire into the sunset. The Premier League clearly will miss Kevin De Bruyne. He has been probably the best player in the league for the last 10 years. Obviously not every year. I think him and Mo Salah have kind of gone toe to toe, certainly in the last 10 years. But yeah, I just wanted to go over a few of KDB's stats just before we get into anything else. Like, I'm a Liverpool fan. He's stopped us winning loads of league titles. You have to show him the respect where it's due. Kevin De Bruyne has played 413 games for Man City, scoring 106 goals, providing 126 assists. Those numbers are just fucking insane anyway. In the 10 years he's been there, he's won 15 trophies, including 6 league titles. He's won the Man City Player of the Season 4 times, been in the UEFA Team of the Year 3 times, he's been in the Premier League Team of the Year 5 times, he's won 2 Premier League, he's been the top assister in the Premier League in 3 different seasons, and he obviously matched but didn't manage to break Thierry Henry's number of assists in a single season, which was 20. And yeah, like I said, it's not just the numbers. De Bruyne has been one of the joys of the Premier League to watch over the last 10 years. To me, a lot of the time it's looked like Kevin De Bruyne is just playing a different game. His intelligence is still unbelievable. He saw passes that nobody else could, he made passes that nobody else could, and to that I think he's going to be a great loss to the Premier League. As a Liverpool fan, probably won't miss him that much. The ginger twat. The point of difference was a couple players between Liverpool and Man City, but Kevin De Bruyne, without a shadow of a doubt, is one of the biggest reasons as to why Jurgen Klopp retired with 1 Premier League title and Pep Guardiola is sat on 6. Like I said, he was the difference maker, especially in the league. You know, when it came to being consistent week in, week out, Kevin De Bruyne was always there. Obviously, like in the last couple of years, he has dwindled a little bit. His numbers have dwindled, but he's played a shit ton of football. He's kind of old now. Like, this is naturally what's going to happen. He's had a lot of injuries. I think he's played like 6 times this season. Obviously, his contract is out as well. The writing was kind of always on the wall that Kevin De Bruyne probably would be moving on. There was a potential of a contract extension. You look at an example of a player who's getting a bit older, like Luka Modric at Real Madrid, where they kind of take it year by year, and if the player's still happy to carry on, then the club offer like a single year extension. So what, Modric is now like 39, maybe 40, and there's already rumours that he's going to sign an extension to the next year, 2026. But I think Kevin De Bruyne has basically been playing in every single game. Man City have been playing like 40, 50 games a season because they've always managed to get to the latter stages of pretty much every competition and won most of those competitions. So De Bruyne has played an awful lot of football. Like I said, 413 games in 10 years is a lot. That averages out at like over 40 games a season. But yeah, we can wax lyrical about Kevin De Bruyne all day. Just go and watch some of his highlights. For those of you that are a little bit younger, he has been an incredible player. He's also so humble, which I've got to respect a lot about him. You see players now who do have a bit of a chip on their shoulder and get an ego who couldn't even lace Kevin De Bruyne's boots. De Bruyne has always been a very humble character. He's never really seemed to have hogged the limelight. He's never really, you don't read about him in the newspapers. He doesn't even have an agent. But there are still some holes in Kevin De Bruyne's CV. Now, I wouldn't be a sad little virgin chatting shit online if I didn't point out those holes, would I? Yeah, whilst Kevin De Bruyne's domestic career has been laden with success and trophies, played with the best players in the world, internationally he's also played with the best players in the world and some of the best players in history. You know, you look at Vincent Kompany, you look at Eden Hazard, you look at Thibaut Courtois, Romelu Lukaku. They had an unbelievable pool of talent for about 5 or 6 years. Belgium were always considered to have the golden generation, and they were always in the conversation for the Euros or the World Cup for being, you know, a team that could win them, and it never happened. It never ever happened. I remember, as a Welshman, one of the proudest days of my life was when Wales knocked Belgium out of Euro 2016, and again, they've always kind of missed the mark. They haven't got to a final, which is pretty crazy. They've always fallen short, and I'm not saying for a second that is all Kevin De Bruyne Bruyne's fault. It's not all Eden Hazard's fault. It's not Romelu Lukaku's fault. But it's just a shame that we got to see so much of De Bruyne's quality and talent in Europe when he's playing alongside the likes of Sergio Aguero, Gabby Jesus, Erling Haaland, Riyad Mahrez, Jack Grealish. Generational players, generational footballers and generational talents. But then when it came to international football, it didn't really click. You know, there's so many different reasons to why that team did fail. A lot of people make the argument the team was too top heavy and that there was a wealth of attacking talent, but then the defensive midfield, the back through the centre backs and the back line, the talent just wasn't there. So whilst they looked amazing in attack, they couldn't defend as much, which is a fair argument. Roberto Martinez has kind of brought a lot of criticism from Belgian fans for playing too much of a rigid system and kind of trying to force these amazing players to play in a system which doesn't suit them. You look at the like of Eden Hazard, he needs freedom, or needed, he's retired now. He needed freedom to play. He needed the ability to go and do whatever he wanted on the ball. That's where you saw the best version of Hazard. And that's kind of the same for De Bruyne as well. De Bruyne is the best when he has got space and when he has got time on the ball and he's not being constricted. Again, another fair criticism that the Roberto Martinez did not go into that job with the right attitude and the right system and the right style of play, which therefore meant that those players couldn't kind of maximise their abilities, which could have potentially got them across the line. I don't know. I know there was also a lot of kind of weird shit going on with Belgium. Like Thibaut Courtois had an affair, I want to say, or at least definitely cheated with De Bruyne's girlfriend, which wasn't great, and those who apparently clearly aren't friends. So to try and navigate that dressing room where two of your biggest leaders and your two very big voices in the changing room are kind of angry at each other and in a feud, it can't really set a great atmosphere for the rest of the team in the changing room. So like I said, Kevin De Bruyne, unbelievable player in the Premier League, but Belgium, I don't really remember a time for Belgium where I've thought, wow, this is Kevin De Bruyne arriving on the international stage. He scored some great goals, but it's not just De Bruyne's fault, but it is partially De Bruyne's fault, and that is, like I said, I think that's a valid criticism. He never really did it internationally. Again, De Bruyne is a player that will be missed, worth millions commercially to the Premier League. But then that begs the next question. Where could Kevin De Bruyne go next? Now, personally, I think he is too knackered to stay in Europe, even if he went to a league that's less demanding, the likes of PSG, the French league, or a league that's slightly slower, like Serie A. I'm sure he could do a couple more years in those leagues, but does he want to? He's just spent 10 years playing week in, week out in the hardest league in the world, basically. So I think De Bruyne, the chances of him staying in Europe are very slim. He's probably going to go to the MLS. He's probably either looking to play with Messi or Ronaldo. That's how I could imagine he looks at it. There's apparently been links to other MLS clubs. I'm sure Saudi Arabia and their money will be able to turn his head as well. I would personally like to see him maybe go back to Belgium, where it all started. And I like those kinds of conclusions to careers where players choose their hometown clubs over big money moves. But also, if someone's going to offer him, 200-300 million to go and play in Saudi Arabia for 2 years, then why would he say no to that? A very short one today, guys. I know not the most interesting of videos, but I just wanted to kind of touch on it. Kevin De Bruyne is probably the best. I already said it. He has been one of the best players in the world since 2015. So I'm not saying that he's a bad player. Okay, I'm just trying to cover all bases, cover all angles. But anyway, if you guys have enjoyed, then please like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.